Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I first wanted to send out a really warm thank you for all your loving and honest and just really kind and heartwarming messages in my last video. I was a bit of a mess in that video, but as you can see, Cleo has survived the weekend and she's actually doing a whole lot better. It is an amazing miracle. Thank you to everyone who's been praying. Say hello to Cleo. She's never been much of a very active dog as it is. It's just her personality. But for days, almost a week, she wouldn't even move to go to the bathroom or anything like that. And now she is up and about to eat and to go outside, and she's actually eating again. I'm not going to share with you everything that I've done over the course of time to try and help her and make her better, but if you would like to know all the things that I'm using, let me know in the comments and I will do another video on that. But enough about that. I do love her and I want to make as many videos with her in it so I can watch them one day and see her in them. Anyway, so today I'm going to be doing a video that I have been working on for quite some time. I was born and raised in the city, so I'm a total city girl, and I just moved out to the country a little while ago. It's been about 1 year that I've lived out in the country now. And when I say out in the country, I mean down a gravel road with nothing around for, at least I have to drive about half an hour to do any kind of grocery shopping or anything like that. So, I mean, it's not super far, but it's not, and this is highway driving. Anyways, I have made a list of pros and cons for both country living and frugal or city living, and I will be sharing with you first the country side, and if I have time I will do the city side. If this video gets long, I'll make another video. But anyways, so cons for living in the country. The first one, and I made it in bold lettering, is lots of bugs. We have so many bugs out here, it's insane. I've been pulling ticks off myself almost every single day, and off of Cleo too. And I don't even go in the bush. I haven't gone for a walk in the trees, nothing, just from touching grass. And so it's super bad. And the mosquitoes, I've already gotten mosquito bites, and I have never sat outside at all this season. So that's by far the biggest one. Number one, lots of bugs. Number two is we pretty much live so far apart from anything that you absolutely, there's no question, you need a vehicle to be able to even leave your property if you want to do any kind of grocery shopping or visiting of friends, or if you want to go out to eat. There is no such thing as going for, a short 10-15 minute walk to getting a Slurpee or something like that. So, and if there's more than one of you, you're more than likely going to need more than one vehicle, which does get pretty expensive. Number three, this has to do with the same thing as number two, but gas and groceries are more expensive out here. Where I live, the gas is at least, I know this doesn't sound like a lot, but it's anywhere from 2 cents to 6 cents more expensive where I live than if I were to drive a half hour. And then if I go to the big city here, then it's almost 10 cents cheaper in this city than it is where I live. So I know, again, it doesn't sound a lot, but when you drive a lot, it makes a huge difference. And then, again, our grocery stores are crazy expensive, so I always have to drive in to do grocery shopping. Otherwise, there's no way I could afford to pay these prices. There's no apartments. You can't live on 10 acres in an apartment block. It's just, you can't, there's no such thing. So if you aren't a homeowner, you cannot live in an apartment on the country. So basically that is out if you can't do things. So I don't know how to explain it, but you have to be able to do everything yourself, like, and you're gonna need a lot of machinery and stuff like that to mow the grass because there's so much of it. You're gonna need tractors and more than just a snowblower because our driveway is so long. It would literally take an entire day just to snow blow it or shovel it if we didn't have a huge tractor to do it. The next one is we have a very, very limited selection of pretty much everything. Everything from education, like there's not a whole lot, like there's no colleges here. You have to go to the city. Food, again, like grocery stores and going out to eat. We basically have, I think, in my town, like 2 places to eat, a pizza place and then the local bar restaurant. So places to go and just do anything, nightlife, shopping, etc. So if that's kind of something that you enjoy, I would not suggest moving to the country. The next one is there is absolutely zero public transportation. So again, if you don't have a car, you're pretty much going to be a house prisoner. The next one is very limited internet. Like my internet sucks so bad that I cannot even upload my YouTube videos. I have to drive to the city and use my phone data to upload my videos, which is why I don't do as many videos as I like, because I can't upload them from home. It took me over 24 hours just to upload one video one time. So yeah, there's no such thing as high speed or fiber optic internet out here. You get just plain old, the very lowest Wi-Fi. It is so slow. Again, and then there's also, I don't get cell service out here, so you absolutely need a house phone, otherwise you're pretty much cut off from talking to anyone over the telephone. And the next one is ordering online. If you like to shop online and get things delivered, it makes it pretty difficult because a ton of places do not deliver to rural locations. So yeah, makes online shopping very difficult. So I have to a lot of times get it delivered to my mom in the city, and then I get it whenever I see her. Yeah, because a lot of places they don't deliver to P.O. boxes or rural communities. And if they don't deliver in the rural communities, you only get a P.O. box. So the next one is, I've already mentioned this, but you absolutely need heavy duty equipment like tractors and all those other machines that otherwise you won't be able to mow your grass or do anything outside, because there's no way you would be able to do it all by hand. So tractors, riding, lawnmowers, etc. You have to worry about your own septic issues, having to pump it out because it gets full, because it's not connected to a whole system like it is in the city, where you never have to worry about dealing with your humanly matter. Because it all gets dealt with. But when you're in the country, you have to deal with that all yourself, and you have to worry about backups, freezing pipes, that kind of stuff, and then, like I said, getting it pumped out regularly. The next one is you pretty much have to commute, which means you have to drive so pretty far. The nearest is like big city where most of the jobs are is about an hour away, because the bigger town where I live, there's not a whole lot of jobs there either. So you have to commute if you want to work and work at a good job. yeah, so if you want to work, you can't just stay home unless you're a farmer. Again, my next one is there's a lot less work opportunity, which is basically the same thing. And then the next one is you absolutely have to work. You cannot live in the country and be on welfare, because it is all the things that you need to live out here. Welfare would never be able to cover them. So you have to have some kind of income coming in so that you can afford living in the country. Alright, so on to my pros. I will try and make this part quick. I have a lot less pros than I do cons. So the first one is you have a ton more room for a garden. Water is free, because most places, if you live in the country, you have your own water well, which is pretty much a never-ending supply of water unless you use it all, or in a really dry season that you really do have to be careful. But yeah, you don't have monthly or quarterly water bills. The only thing that does cost is the installation of a water well and a water softener and an iron filter. We have a really high iron level, and then also when you use hot water, you still have to pay for the electricity to heat water. Next one I have is you have a lot more room to do things like outdoors things, like a lot more room to go for nature walks, riding around on quads, ATVs, razors, etc. If that's your thing, then country living is for you. The next thing is you can raise your own animals either as a hobby or for consumption. And then at least you know what they are fed and how they've been treated. We have not done this yet, and I'm still on the fence about that one. But the next one I have is you never really have to leave to get away. A lot of people leave the city to go to the country for a B&B or something to get away from the busyness of the city life. I'm almost opposite. I like to go to the city to get away from the country. But yeah, if you are a person who loves the quiet life, then you really, really don't need to go anywhere because it's all in your backyard. The next one is you're surrounded by nature, and it's really quite beautiful and very peaceful. We have all kinds of animals. We actually have a family of geese with baby goslings, and it's so cute. And yeah, there's all kinds of animals out here. Some nice animals and some not so nice animals. So I guess that could be a pro or a con. The next one I have is you can become a little bit more self-sustaining if you really want to, if that's your thing. You want to grow your own food and, not have to rely on buying everything. Country living can offer that because, again, you have a lot more room to do that kind of thing. Again, and the next one is I would say it's generally safer than city living. Like I barely hear of any stories in the news. The biggest stories we have are thefts, but there's never any real violence or literally where I live. In this town, I haven't heard of anything really bad happening. So it is, for the most part, generally safer. But I mean, again, there's always someone who does something. But for the most part, it's generally safer. And the next one I have is taxes are lower. And where I am, they are almost twice as low as when we lived in the city. So it is quite a bit lower. And the very last one I have is the noise level is not as restricted, so you can work on projects later, start earlier, you can have people over and not have to, turn out the lights by 11 p.m. and worry about people calling the cops. You can have huge outdoor bonfires if you want and not worry about the police coming. Yeah, there's so many things that you could have more than 2 dogs. You could have 5 dogs if you really wanted, but there's a lot more freedom, I would say, out in the country than there is in the city. So I'm going to leave it off there, and I will do pros and cons of living in the city tomorrow. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you so much for all your prayers and blessings and kind, loving words. I will be getting back to all your comments tonight. I have booked off a time slot in my evening to do just that tonight. So again, thanks so much for watching and for being part of this family. I love you so much, and I appreciate you. And until tomorrow, hope you have a frugabulous day. Bye.